Okay, so let's see. We're here. I have no idea if the stream is working right now. Let me see. Let me see if I can get to it on my phone. Shouldn't be hard. And then we're off. Nice. So yeah, I'm testing out a few things. Today is the second day of me starting the stream. As you can see, I have some fun graphics. Um, Nothing too fancy. I just wanted to put something together. And then, as you can see down here, I have a little kind of a logo thing, something I'm toying with. Not sure if that's going to work or whatever. Um, Basically, the topic today is mostly to see, because I'm probably going to be in here alone. I did a little stream yesterday, and some internet friends showed up, and that was a lot of fun. Very unexpected for sure. But yeah, that's still pretty cool. I'm gonna see if I can turn off my Wi-Fi here, just so I don't screw up my internet connection. I would also like to turn off music. And that would be, where would that be? Huh? Let's pause. Okay, we're a total mess, which is fine. That's what this whole thing is about. Um, the reason I'm doing this streaming is, how should I put this? Wanna Streaming is a lot harder than I imagined. Um, it should be fairly easy, especially with all the equipment that I have. I mean, look, I'm doing this on a cinema camera. I have an audio interface. I have a nice microphone, great lighting. I have a MacBook Pro plugged into Ethernet. I don't know if you can see that. There's a blue cable coming out, and we're plugged into Ethernet. And yeah, I mean, the thing is, I've been dealing all day with trying to figure out how to make streaming possible. And the problem is like it's not from a lack of following the tutorials and knowing what to use. I'm using OBS right now. It's down here. Um, there's a bunch of different methods, and I've looked at all the tutorials, looked at all the things, trying to get my settings like absolutely correct, right? Uh, let's go through that real quick. I'm doing right now, after doing a lot of custom settings, I've just done like the simple output settings from OBS. You got two things. You got simple, you got advanced. Advanced, you can choose some bit rates as well as some buffering, as well as like keyframing and certain things like that. It's a little more advanced. Simple is basically here's your codec, here's your bit rate that you want to choose, your target bit rate, and it kind of does it for you. And what's really strange to me is that no matter how many times I change the settings on the advanced ones to the exact specs that people said you should have based on my upload speeds, based on the resolution that I'm wanting to do and the frame rate that I'm wanting to do, it is still giving me problems. So I just put it on the simple, no frills one, and it seems to be working. I'm watching it now. I have it on my phone just in case. It's not the best, but it's there. I'm a little annoyed that my chat box kind of changed positions on me. There's no one in the chat. So why don't I just switch this real quick? um, this is really weird to me. This is really strange. I have been trying to troubleshoot. Anytime I try and troubleshoot something, I search Google, I search YouTube. I can never find the exact problem that I'm having. And with streaming specifically, it has to do with why are all my settings and all my specs correct, but it's just not playing smoothly or giving me the quality that I should be getting. Really strange stuff. Danny's here. I'm on about a 30-second delay, so I won't see the chat very much. But we're doing this. My whole plan was to, if no one shows up, to just talk to myself about the struggle of streaming, because I want to be able to put that out there. This will end up on my YouTube page, and hopefully someone can explain to me what's wrong. MacBook Pro, 16 gigabytes of RAM. I got 40 megabytes or megabits per second of upload speed, which is supposed to be pretty good for live streaming, even in 4K. But I cannot even get a 720p image to work smoothly. Danny, is this working smoothly for you? Maybe should I give you 30 seconds to answer? I put this on low latency on YouTube because I wanted to help the quality, even though I won't be able to engage with anyone super quickly. But yeah, while maybe he's gonna answer, let's see if I can fix my my chat screen. How'd you get small there? YouTube chat. Let's unlock you. Let's I know what happened. There we go. Let's do that. Transition there. Now the chat is there. 720 is the maximum that I'm doing right now. I'm outputting in 720 because it's working. Which is, I have a 6K camera. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think the HDMI port from my camera can only output to a 1080 signal anyway. So having a 6K or a 4K camera doesn't really matter. But I have an amazing camera going to this cam link. The problem is getting the signal to YouTube or to stream without there being like a huge buffering problem or the lagging. So it's 720 is the max right now that I feel like I can do. And hopefully in about 15 minutes, it doesn't crap out on me. But we've tried. We've done the test. We've tried to get it work, and we're seeing if this is going to work. This is just a talking live stream. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's just live streaming in general. I'm curious what other people's experiences are with live streaming and why this is so hard for me when it shouldn't be. I think I need a new computer. Danny, when you get a chance, let me know what you're working on, because I'm thinking of getting a Mac Studio very soon. If October goes really well, just because I need to up some quality here with my editing and stuff. I'm still not doing too bad. This late 2016 MacBook Pro is still going pretty strong, but I've had a couple of issues recently. Tonight we're drinking Jack. If anyone's wondering, I don't think anyone is. Can I even have alcohol on YouTube? It's no one cares, right? It's just me. It's not for kids. Danny, as I said on the stream yesterday, when you're the only person in the stream, it's a lot of pressure because then you're the only person I'm talking to. You are like if you leave, that's it. Just talking to myself. iMac 2020, 64 gigabytes. That's pretty good. I've been waiting for a possible release of maybe a new iMac Pro before I decide what's going on. But right now it doesn't look like the rumors are saying that's not going to be a possibility until like late 2023, if at all, or maybe early 2023. I don't know. So Mac Studio it is. If maybe hopefully they introduce something new in October. We don't know. I'm a little late to replying to the chat, but Danny, make sure you're in Austin, I believe. No, you moved. I'm sorry. You moved. Do they have Google Fiber where you're at? Because get fiber. I think that's my biggest issue right now. Is I have Spectrum. There's no fiber connection around me. My internet's great. My download speeds can be up to 700, 800 megabits per second, whatever it is. Pretty great. It's that 40 megabits upload that I think keeps screwing me over in terms of the thing. So hopefully you have fiber or a good internet connection at your work, because that's going to be your biggest bottleneck, sounds like. As far as what I've learned, if you have any questions other than that, let me know. I'm jealous. I'm jealous you have fiber. I wish. I looked everywhere. I was like, how much money do I have to spend? Just someone tell me. But no one let me know. Do you like the setup? One of the things I wanted to talk about yesterday, and I didn't really get to talking about it, was the new Sony, what is it, FX30, which sounds like an amazing beginner camera. I love how it's competing now. Finally, Sony's doing something to compete with the Blackmagic cinemas. When they released the FX3 for however, like what, $4,000, it just wasn't. I was like, it's a great little camera, but it was basically just an A7S3 and a different body. Didn't make any sense, and also, like the Blackmagic did way better in terms of specs. So now with the FX30, I'm actually kind of glad, because I left Sony a little while ago, and but that would get me to come back if I needed another small camera. I still don't like the form factor, but having a small camera for vlogging or something, and just like the cinema, just being made for video first, that's what's important for me, as opposed to having like a photography camera, even though it's still a photography DSLR format or mirrorless format. The fact is they made it for filmmakers first, and I think that's great. That's pretty awesome. And mostly I'm talking about it because I have a good camera. Well, I have a good cinema camera, but it's a little bit robust. So if I wanted to get into vlogging or doing something on this YouTube channel again, I would probably need something a little smaller just to carry around. That would be nice. The sound was an issue yesterday. long story short, I'm having trouble with this audio interface. Interference is crazy. Doesn't matter. This mic is fine. This mic has an XLR and a USB port. If I plug it in via USB, I get no interference. So the mic seems to be fine in terms of signal and the signals in the air. But when I plug it into this audio interface, there's a lot of interference when I push that gain up just to talk. And this is a very soft mic, I found out. You gotta increase that gain. And you might be hearing it. You might hear it a little bit. And that's the thing that I struggle with. I'm struggling with the fact that, like, all this equipment, and I can't figure out what's wrong. And I've gotten shielded cables. I've moved things around to see if I can cut down the Wi-Fi signals, and yet it's still a problem. It was a huge problem yesterday. If you watch yesterday's video of the stream, you'll notice it, and it wasn't bad. So I put some compressions and gain and expanders and stuff onto this from OBS, and it seems to have at least eliminated the majority of it, so I can get some good settings. So good to know, Danny. The thing is like, I'm hitting... I know you said you turned your volume up. I tried so much to get these settings. I can see I have a hard limiter on, but even then, I'm still hitting like very close to the red, you know? And yet, I still seem so low, no matter how much I push the gain. These mics, I love this mic, the Shure MV7, but it's not, so the most popular mic is the Shure SM7B. That one is like $400, and like everyone uses it. So this is the MV7, cheaper version, but from the same company. I figured it should do just as well. I did not realize how low the gain was. Now, I could just solve that by plugging it in via USB. Kind of defeats the purpose of the audio interface, but it is what it is. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. We're going to go for an hour because I got to leave about 8:30. My girlfriend, my partner, is performing at a choreographer's showcase tonight called Carnival or something like that. Here in LA, a lot of talented choreographers apparently go up to it and do things. And I haven't gotten to see her dance yet. I realized in about how long is it? A year and a half? It's like January. It's been almost like a year and 3/4 of dating. I've seen her, some dance things she's done. I've seen rehearsals. I've seen, we've done photos, but we never like a full on dance that was choreographed or whatever. She did dance for a class, and they did a video of it, and I saw that. But I haven't gotten to just go to a performance, so I'm really excited about that. I joked earlier. I was like, I can finally say I date a dancer, which is, yes, I was dating a dancer, and that's true. But having not gotten to like see her perform in a live setting is really strange to me. In a year and a half, she just hasn't had anything, so I'm glad I get to go and do that. So we're gonna around 8:30. I'm gonna cut this off, and we're gonna go do that. I still love dance. There's a dance film I'm trying to maybe finish up. Trying to work with the choreographer to kind of release the permission to me to work with a composer. I don't necessarily need permission, but she she had a composer she wanted to work with, and we haven't heard anything for uh, uh, about a year now. Rob, thanks for coming. Danny, it's just gonna be me. You'll probably step out. Just reply here, and there we go. Live chat replay. Replying on chat because it's actually a lot quicker for me to just have the chat open on my phone. Also, just the best way for me to monitor the stream, make sure things are still going well. Seems to be going fine to me. I look a little muddy, a little blurry down there. I mean, I'm also like on my cellular signal, so that might also be part of it. I'll have to watch this back later. But again, you see what I'm saying? This is 720. It should be at least a little not as muddy in that tiny frame. I hope you're not waiting on me, Danny. Thanks for coming. Nice to see you again. I know I can I do that here? Yes. Here's what I'm going to do. This is what I want to do for anyone who's watching this. I'm messing with streaming and stuff because I want to see if this can also work for Discord. I'm getting back into content, but mostly I'm just loving having a community that I'm trying to build on Discord. And so I want what happened? So I want people to join up. So here you go. There's a Discord link. That's not what I wanted. I want to pin it. It's like not let me select the chat. There we go. Pinned message. Down to me. So yeah, what are we talking about again? Streaming. If anyone out there understands this, I'm encoding or outputting at 5,000 kilobytes per second. It's supposed to be pretty standard for 1080p, 720p, 30 frames per second. It should be fine. Again, my upload speeds are great. Spectrum might not be consistent, but it seems fine. Does anyone know how to work the Evo 8 audio interface? And why I'm getting interference on it? I've moved it around. I think it's mostly coming from the monitor. My speakers would get a similar interference. But the farther I can put them away from this monitor, the less interference. But I can't verify if that's the same for the Evo 8. Should I just sit here? While I wait for someone else to show up? Probably not. Should I just sit? Want to turn up the volume? See what that was like? Hey, the stream's still going strong. That's good. What movies have y'all watched recently? So a lot that came out. Blonde came out. I never got to see it. What Dahmer also came out on Netflix. It's not a movie, but I'm kind of interested in it, but I've heard not so good things. I'm missing Fantastic Fest. Really disappointed in that. Have y'all seen Smile yet? Smile? Haven't seen it. But I have seen The Woman King. Woman King, great film. I had a lot of fun. Probably the most fun I've had in movie theater this year. Next to Top Gun Maverick. Probably. And until Glass Onion comes out, because I'm sure that's going to be my favorite thing I've ever seen. Mostly because Rian Johnson is my favorite director. It's really hard to like say someone's your favorite, you know, but literally for me, as I followed Rian Johnson's career, and I started from the beginning, I saw Brick in about 2008. I think it came out in 2006. So it went to Sundance in 2006. I got to see it in 2008. I was in Iraq. And I saw Brick. Loved it. Next year, I saw Brothers Bloom. Still one of my favorite movies. Definitely top Rian Johnson film. And after that, I was sold. I was like, you got 2 hits that like hit with me, at least. Maybe not with everyone else, but they hit with me. And then Looper came out. Forget about it. That's it. You're 3 for 3. I was sold then. Now I'm just a fanboy. A fanboy of Rian Johnson. As an actor, I've always said I wanted to work with him, but also I would love to be in a Star Wars if he got to do one. I was really disappointed that I didn't get a chance to audition for Last Jedi or anything like that, but you know, it's not a huge actor, you know. But that would have been cool. But you know, he's if he does something new, that might be more exciting anyway. And maybe there's a chance. Maybe there's a chance. Knives Out, at least everyone loved. Wasn't as controversial. But now Glass Onion is the reviews are mostly amazing. There's a couple of people that were like, it's not quite as sharp as Knives Out. But what are you talking about? Not quite as sharp. It's still good. There's still good reviews. But there's some people that are like, it's not quite as sharp as Knives Out. Probably pun intended, but you know. What can I say? So I'm looking forward to that and Poker Face. Rian Johnson is probably the guy that has influenced me more as a filmmaker. For no reason. I don't think he has a specific style or anything, but there's just something about it. I did a film that I was hired as a cinematographer, and the director and writer, they kind of built this as a Wes Anderson style, you know, quirky film. And the writing, it showed. It definitely was a Wes Anderson style of film. But I think Brothers Bloom, especially the first 15 minutes, is the best Wes Anderson style film that Wes Anderson didn't make. And so instead of going Wes Anderson with it, I went Rian Johnson with it, a la Brothers Bloom. When I shot it, I put my own styles and twists on it, but I was for sure that was kind of what I was kind of going for. So yeah. There's a little 10 minutes about Rian Johnson. Again, anyone who's here seeing this afterwards, watch this, found this after the fact. This is just a test. I'm just here to see if the stream's gonna keep going. We're gonna if it's gonna stay up, keep buffering. If I could even talk to myself. We're making sure the settings are working. I've been testing them all day and they've been on and off, not working. If I did anything on my computer right now, I would be lagging. There would be some problems. I could not be a gamer. I did a stream once where I was editing and streaming at the same time. It was amazing, but I had Google Fiber. I had 400 megabytes upload speed. At least 200 on Wi-Fi. So I had no problems with anything. Yeah, I don't have that now. Clearly. So we can't do anything on the computer. That isn't, just putting an image up, doing audio. Yeah. I think my dog is outside the door wondering what the heck I'm doing. No one's joined, and that's fine. It's office hours. Hold for helicopter. Probably can't hear that. Got a noise gate on. Let me know if you heard that. Hurricane Ian. If you weren't on the stream yesterday, my partner's mother is currently in Fort Myers. She's at a shelter. She's in Fort Myers. And they got hit hard. So she was a little worried. Mother is fine. They were without power and water at the shelter, but I think other than that, they were fine. I don't think anyone was trapped, per se. Anything like that. I haven't seen any of the destruction. We don't know what's happened to her house. I think she lives in a small trailer kind of situation, and I mean, things are flimsy. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on. At least people are okay. Material things can go without. People, they're okay. We've been playing The Last of Us, the remastered on PS5. That looks great. I wish I could stream that, but getting a console set up to stream. Don't even get me started. I need new video capture cards if I'm going to do that. Maybe I should build a PC. Any PC lovers out there? Is that the problem? Is my real problem the fact that OBS often doesn't like to work with the Mac? Or something like that. I like Mac. I like the OS. I have a Google phone, but I do like the Mac. And I don't know if I'm going to change it. I just haven't had a PC in so long. How do you go back to that? But I'm probably so blurry you can't even see like looking at the monitor. Just to usually I had the monitor turned off all day because I don't need it. Can just look at the lens. I'm set up. I know I'm good. But now when it's there, I keep looking at that instead of the lens. And I know you can tell. I should try and put it above. I don't know. Oh, this is going well. It's going super well. Need to change the microphone placement. How's that? This arm just like is stretched out. I can move it on the table. Probably should. Looks like it's struggling. Sit up straight, Matthias. Phone is losing battery. Terrible. Terrible streamer. Yeah, I know how y'all feel. I get it. The gamers who stream by themselves. At least you have a game, right? You got to find something to talk about, right? Engagement is super important. God, I hate that my latency is on low. I'm at 720. I could do like an ultra fast latency. But then I would lose some quality. It would for sure dumb down my quality. Guess I need to test that out and see. But that's real annoying. Again. What do y'all use? Are y'all using OBS? What are you streamers using? Because I know there's a lot of you. I know this is super easy. You don't need to. Everything tells me if you have like 5 to 7 megabytes per second of upload speed on your internet, you should be fine with like 1080p or even 720, whatever. You should be fine. Even 1440, maybe. I have like 40. I have 40 megabytes per second. And I can't get above 720 to save my life. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just 'cause I've been learning certain things, and maybe now that I've figured out some things, we can figure it out. Let's look at the stats. Open up. Open up the doc. Had a few frames missed due to rendering lag. Only 0.3%, so not bad. Not bad. I don't know what the standard would be. Skip frames due to encoding lag, 0.1%. It's even lower. That's great. I was doing terrible before. You should see my test before. CPU usage. This is the thing that gets me. My CPU usage is about 29%. 30%. I'm not even using, according to the stats, the full CPU. So why am I having such an issue? The memory right now is at 640 megabytes. I have 16 gigs of memory. 16 gigs on this MacBook Pro. And according to this, I'm only using 643 megabytes. What gives? Why can I only listen? We might try this again. We might try some higher settings, and you'll see. There will be problems. And I don't know why. Every other test that I tried with different settings, I get the warning, software encoding is overloaded. The YouTube is not getting enough video to stream, and so users may experience buffering problems. I'd like to solve my audio issues and lighting or camera issues, anything like that, but I can't do that. Can't work on those things when I can't even stream a good signal. Bitrate staying pretty consistent. I put it at 5,000, but it's at above 5,000, 5,200. Down to 49, back up to 52, 51. I'm looking at the screen, by the way. No one's in the chat. Let's just transition back to the main camera. It's just me. You know, this is fine. I wanted to do a talk show at one point. Called it Momentum. When I say at one point, I was like 20 years old. I'm 35 now. 15 years ago, I was going to do a talk show. I don't want to do a talk show now. But that was before podcasts. I was going to do like an online talk show. About what? I don't know. But I had the idea. Now podcasts are everywhere. I should have just done that. I should have been podcasting. Oh, the things I should have been doing. I started vlogging in 2016 because I saw Casey Neistat's vlogs. But before then, I was making videos like my vlogs. I got started editing by basically making vlogs. I would go out with my friends and do something. I'd record it, and we would put it together. There was sometimes intention, like when we went to Disney World or when we went to the summer camp. There was like it was just capturing and doing like a little highlight reel of my experience there. They were terrible. Don't get me wrong. That was when I was new to editing, using Windows Media Maker, Movie Maker, whatever it was. But they were, in essence, essentially vlogs. Vlogging didn't exist back then. YouTube didn't exist until I graduated high school, and I was making those before I graduated high school. YouTube was invented in 2005. I graduated that year. So no one was really using YouTube uh, in that way for a while. And I was kind of a late bloomer and like kind of going to YouTube. I liked Vimeo. I was a big snob. I liked using Vimeo, and so then I'd go to YouTube. And Casey I'd been following since his kind of just do it Nike thing. I forget what it was. It was the one where he says they gave us money to do this ad, and we took the money and we flew around the world, and they made the ad. That was the conceit, but they knew the company knew that they were doing that, and so I'd been following him since before he was vlogging. So when he started vlogging, I was like, why can't I do this? I was already doing this. This is what I should have been doing. So if I'd been doing what I was already doing, if I had known that there was an outlet, that people were doing that, maybe I would have started sooner. 2016 was late for the fact that I've been making videos years before that. I got exponentially better since starting the vlog. And so I feel like I'm late to the game in terms of skills and stuff. And now here I am live streaming, and I feel late to the game again. But technology just keeps making it harder, you know? Oh boy. Is this arrogant? Having my face in my face? I was going to take a new photo just for this, just for the cover. It's like I already have this photo with the backdrop. It's about a year old. Do I look the same? Do I look older? I think I got fatter. The light's not flattering, it's just the light. Sorry about that. Ten more minutes. I gotta go. Should look up. The route. It's gonna take me 11 minutes. Go there, go down 170, exit on Hollywood Boulevard. Take a ride on Hollywood. And then it's gonna be right there. Easy. Sorry, shouldn't be on my phone during the stream. but no one's here. Who's gonna tell? Right? I enjoy streaming. For as much of the headache that it's giving me, I do like it. We're starting the conversations about doing some podcasts. Me and Shannon want to do one. I've been introducing her to a lot of movies and anime and stuff, and sometimes it's fun having conversations about what she thought about it, especially if she's seeing something years after it's kind of like out of the zeitgeist. She has different opinions, as a first time viewer. And so I thought it would be a cool podcast to kind of like talk about it, kind of have the conversations about pop culture maybe years after something's been out from a different perspective. Another podcast is for her. I've had an idea for a podcast. I don't know exactly what the idea is, but I see these casting calls all the time as an actor, and there's a phrase that gets used quite a bit in different forms with different adjectives. It's usually talking about a female main character, and the first line in the description of this character is, "She's beautiful, but she doesn't know it." Like that makes the character interesting in some way. Beautiful, but she doesn't know. It's clearly someone who wrote, a man who wrote a girl doesn't know how to talk about females. And it's annoying how often that something like that is used over and over again. People don't know how to write character descriptions, period, but that is so egregious. So we're starting a podcast called Beautiful But Doesn't Know It. And I just want to give her and other women some voice into that space to hopefully talk about it, as well as being an actress, dealing with this, finding strong female characters and figuring out what that actually looks like. So that's the idea. We're gonna do that one. And then, of course, I had podcasts that I was doing before where I was talking to actors or I was talking to filmmakers. And I feel like there's a lot of those now. You don't need more of those, but I want to do this one for actors that looks behind the curtain, so to speak. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, because acting is so sacrosanct, right? People hold it close, their methods and their techniques and what they do, and we learn, we go to workshops, we learn so many different things, but like no one actor is the same. I'm always fascinated to hear about like how an actor prepares themselves. And it's usually something they didn't learn. Maybe the coach had them do something. I heard from coaches, or I go to workshops where a coach is working with some famous actor from a role that you've definitely heard of, and they do something, and they told them to do something in their trailer, and that's how they found the character. You don't get that in class. There's no book. There's nothing. And that's a very specific thing for that role. And the thing is like, these things should be shared more. For some reason, actors are so kind of competitive, kind of secretive, and they want to hold these things close to the chest. They feel like they don't want to let people in on their inner workings because there's a whole lot going on. But like, man, I find myself on sets all the time I'm like, what do I want to do? Do I want to hang out on set? Do I want to like go listen to my headphones and stick in a corner? What's gonna get me there? You know, what do I need right now? And everyone's different. And I'm still looking for my own methods. You know, but the thing is like there's something that people have done that different people do to get in character, to prep, to get to a certain space, headspace, whatever you want to call it. And it's not it's a set runs differently every time. You don't always have trailers. You don't always have the rehearsals. You don't always have the prep time. You might not have even you might have gotten a new script that morning with different lines, so you could have memorized something and it's all different. Or you might just be improving completely. Maybe they haven't given you anything until you show up on the day for the scene. The director gives you something. And how do you prepare for all those different scenarios? Everyone has their own different methods, their own different things, and I want to delve into that. And I think that would be super interesting for a lot of people. So yeah, a couple podcast ideas, nothing special. My chat disappeared on my phone. Did it disappear for you guys? No one's chatted for a while, so it makes sense. Join the Discord. We're going to be podcasting on the Discord. This is just me talking. Office hours. I'd like to invite guests on if I could figure out how to make it work. You know, get a phone call. Do they join me on like Skype, Google Meet, or the dreaded Zoom? Discord. I'd love for them to join me on Discord, but getting the Discord audio to work might be a challenge. I can get it to work. I could figure this out. We'll figure this out. Maybe this is a podcast. Technically. Who knows? 2 minutes. Should I end it early? No. Let's go all the way. What if I just toss this? What if I just threw it? Would you be surprised? I'm not that dedicated. I like those glasses. I would like to keep them. Keep drinking whiskey out of them. Thank you, Danny, for joining me on this little journey. Thank you for anyone who finds this in the future and decides to watch it. I would be really surprised if anyone did. But it will exist. So why not? You know, someday I'll have something to look back on. This is just me trying to do something, and that's all that matters, right? So I'm glad to have started it, even if I don't finish it. That's my calendar is going off on my watch, my notification. So it's about that time. I should probably get going. But if you do find this in the future, thank you. I hope it's been illuminating in some way. I know it's kind of roundabout. I know it's probably pretty boring. I understand. I'm sorry. Hopefully this gets better. Hopefully this is just a foundation that we can build upon, a bar that we can jump over, a goal that we could just blow past. I hope so. But until we figure that out, thank you for joining me. Look forward to the next one. We'll figure out what this routine's going to be. And hopefully you're there. And hopefully you can say you were there from the very beginning. Catch you later. Peace out.